And all right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Forge Coffee Break. This is the episode number 24 of the coffee break. We're going a long way now. And as usual, this is a space for open conversation. Always have your coffee with you if you have any questions. And let me open to you if you have any questions or topics that you want to bring up. I see a lot of new faces this time. And I was away last time. Jaime was covering for me. So I was taking a few weeks paternity leave. So now I'm back to work. And again, thank you, Jaime, for covering me last time. And thank you for joining today again.
Thank you, Augusto. Nice to meet you again.
Thank you. Sorry for interruption.
I have one question. Just is it possible through one activity, for example, in design automation for Revit, extract model to another one and use it to extract IFC from it? I mean, like to make two operations of saving model and open it and to work with it.
So let me see if I got this right. You want to extract a model?
I have some views. I'd like to extract that views to a new project, one view as a new project, and then export IFC from that project. So can I do that in one activity, or I should save it file and then run another activity and use new state file for that?
And you're talking about Revit views, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can run that with a single activity. I think the most important thing is to consider when to run multiple or single activities is whether you are opening the same file or a different file, right? So if you have the same file, it's okay to run multiple things on that file. You don't want to have one activity that will open one file and then another file, because that's where you have a chance for something to go wrong and you miss you lose the whole thing, right? So it's important to have. It's better to have one work item or one activity for each file.
So, but I'd like to open one file, save it's to another one, and then work with it through the one activity.
Oh, so if you need to extract data from one to the other, then yeah, you have to split them.
So firstly, I need to create another file, and then in another activity to use those files too.
Yeah. So if you're moving data from one to the other, from one engine to the other, yeah, you probably need to separate them. Except if you have something that I think Adam explained that a while back, that you can run Inventor and Revit specific things together, right? If you have one of those scenarios where you have where we have multiple engine available, then that could work.
And also I have another small question about charging of cloud credits. So some of my work items get errors, and I see that processing time is near 3 hours, but finally I get some memory exception. So how is it paid? Is it paid for 3 hours of processing Revit or not?
Yeah, as I remember, every time that you run the work item, you will be charged. I would have to check if, in case something is failing on our side, if it still charge you. I don't know right now.
No.
But yeah, how can they differentiate between the code failing and the engine failing? Do you know that, Adam?
I'm not sure there's a differentiation between the two.
But I remember they saying that even if the work item fails, that is still charging. That's what I recall.
We'll have to double check that then.
Yeah. So we have checked that. Last time I checked, even if the work item fails, it still charge you, because it can fail for a number of reasons, right? You may have a code that is just not executing right, but still consuming the resources.
Yeah.
But in case it fails because of something wrong on our side, then it's a bit different, right? Let me check on that. I don't know the answer right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you having some trouble with the PDF, sorry, IFC.
Yeah.
With very large IFC files.
We still have those problems. And for the last time we see you on this coffee break, I've also mentioned about some problem with when saving model as a cloud model through the file menu or like collaborate button. Is there any difference like between those models? So I mean, when we initialized models through collaborate button, export fails, but when we made it like save as cloud model, export works for those activities. Is there any difference between these different behaviors? Saving model?
Yeah, I did send you that by email, didn't I?
No.
Okay, so let me get to my inbox again and send, because I did ask that engineering team. I may have prepared to send you, and was the last minute. I have to start my leave a bit early, but I have that in my inbox. I'll double check.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think there was another. Mutaman was asking something else, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted. Sorry for interruption, because the sounds come a little bit late. Hello, everyone. I'm working on a BIM project that integrate IoT and AI. I create the BIM models, and I used Forge API, especially the data visualization part. I have some sensor. I use ASP3T microcontroller to send the data to the cloud. I used Microsoft Azure to send the cloud to the data. But I couldn't connect the data between Forge and Azure. I was successfully able to send it to the server. I tried many times, but I couldn't find a way how to connect it to Forge again. This is the first part. Second part, Microsoft also was a little bit expensive. Is there any way to use open source or free, like MongoDB, for example? I don't know exactly how.
That was with data visualization extension?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice Azure is fairly expensive too. Not too. Yeah, getting set up with Azure is pretty tricky. It's certainly the instructions we had on the original documentation we took down because they were just, it's too complicated, and the documentation was, has a lot of gaps. And getting it connected to actual sensors was also wasn't really part of the setup as well, and that's sort of a bigger task. That being said, to reduce your costs, you probably want to try to do something that's not a hosted solution. So in other words, you would use your own MongoDB either on your own local server or on premise, or if you want to host it, if you can figure out a way to host it cheaper than Azure, there are some options. I've been recently working with InfluxDB, not to push an option, but it is a time series database system, and there's a ton of documentation on doing this with actual hardware using MQTT protocols. It's basically, it's an open source database like MongoDB, except it's a time series database, and it is very much focused around sensor hardware sensor stuff. So weather analysis or temperature analysis of things. So that's something I can help with. Sorry, you're going to say, Augusto?
Yeah, I was just saying that this is always an interesting discussion, right? Should I host my own database? Should I use a server to host, managed server to host my database, or should I use a managed server, right? Autodesk in general, we are moving towards having more and more managed services instead of hosting our own instances. That's something that we are recommending in most cases, because on the long run, you have a lot of benefits using a managed service instead of hosting your own. I mean, instead of you have several options, right? You can host your own database on your server. You can get a cloud instance and host your database, but you still have to host the database and manage it. Or you can use a managed service, which is slightly more expensive it can be, but on the long run, you are going to save a lot with maintenance, with how you keep that thing running, with man hour to maintain that. So most of our new services that are coming, and there is a lot of new discussion inside Autodesk, and we're planning some AU classes around this topic, is to always, as suggest and whatever is possible, to use managed services, because on the long run that will pay off. Yeah. So I mean, something to consider, right? Not only the initial cost, but the long run cost of the managed service that will help you later.
Yeah, adding to that, sort of whether to have the service local or hosted. One of the things to consider, and I think this is probably a weakness at least I found it with the Azure setup, is not having an open source database to work with makes it really hard to make that choice. So if I'm using MongoDB, for example, I can install that locally. I can work with that on development, my laptop, and I can get everything working into a good state. And then I can, if I want, I can then install that on I can install that on Amazon and have that running there, or I can pay for a hosted service like, Mongo Atlas. And so the database is really flexible. It means I have the option. I can either look after it myself, or I could pay for a hosted managed service. So that's something that's something else to sort of look at, is that the Azure setup doesn't offer, the TSI database doesn't seem to offer that local support. It makes it really hard to work with. Mongo database, you have that flexibility. It's not a time series database, so it's going to be harder to get those aggregates. And then you get something like InfluxDB, which is just like MongoDB, except it is a time series database. And so that's kind of why I'd be more. That's why I'm noticing I'm finding it a lot easier to work with InfluxDB. I can put that database locally for development. I can host it myself on Amazon, or I can pay for a hosted service. There's plenty of options. So something to think about.
Okay, thank you. The main problem right now, it's, I'm doing a research study. It's for my thesis. So actually, no one supports me. It's not for a company. I'm working as a BIM manager. But this project, it's part of my thesis. That's why I'm asking. So if I'm working with a company, it's much more easier because it's commercial. But this one, it's for education purposes. That's why it's my main person. My main question for it. I applied today for your accurator. Did you have a deadline or not? I didn't. I have just applied 1 hour ago. So did I miss a deadline or not?
I think we still have a couple of spaces, so we're gonna review that right now after this call, and we'll let you know about it.
Thank you.
Actually, while we're on it, I can still start looking into it to see if I have anything missing that I might actually need from you, and that way we can just kind of like make it a little bit simpler. So go ahead, continue, Augusto, with the coffee break. I'll start looking into this.
Thank you. I noticed that you are
just before you move, just to share that, right? This is the accelerator coming next week. I think that's the last one, right, Jaime, for the year, because for these first few months.
At least for this couple of months, yes. We have a summer break, and then also the next event that we have, it's gonna be the hackathon before AU. And after that, I don't think we have any dates set up for accelerators. So I'll say, yeah, good opportunity to take advantage of that.
Yeah, cool. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
last question. I will not be too long. I noticed that you are recording this conversation. Is it possible to see the previous episode?
Yes, of course. Let me actually take the chance to share this. I think probably mentioned it before, but I'm sharing that all of those recordings on Twitter. So this is my Twitter. If you go to profile, and you should see that's the 23, 22nd. And if you keep following those links, you'll see all the way to the first one. Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm finished.
Yeah, so I think Tadej was also asking about the accelerator. So yeah, please, if you have an application to submit, it's still time. Jaime is going to help review, but we are getting very close to the deadline. It's starting next week, so we have to finish that soon. I think the deadline was already passed, right? Sorry, I may have confused it.
Yeah, we usually kind of like keep it open for a couple more days. One of the main reasons is that we have to do the prep to start notifying attendees and so on. So Tadea, I don't see. It definitely has to be before the accelerator starts, right? So we don't look into any other proposals that come in after a certain day. If you have a proposal, I will say send it. And if you can send it today, that will be great because in that way we can look into it. Oh, this is another question. So, and then I see your proposal, Mutamar. Is it only you, or do you have anyone else joining you?
It's me, just me, because
Okay.
it's not part of my work. I'm a manager, but I'm trying to improve myself. Because I'm studying informatics right now. Beside of our architect.
And then when I see development skills, I see .NET, Node.js, Python, JS, and jQuery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a professional coder, but I can code because my main background is an architect, and it's part of my thesis project.
And I assume this is going towards the data visualization setup as well, right? Integration. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll review and then just keep an eye if we need anything else. I think the proposal looks okay. And then since we confirmed development skills is something that we just need to take into consideration, the space for the data visualization setup. But yeah, so far I think it looks good. So just keep an eye on your email. We should be sending those soon. And then Tade, okay, let me look into the Eventbrite and I will let you know.
Oh yeah, okay. Have to fix that.
Thank you.
Cool. So what else is going on? So being out for 3 weeks, looks like everything is new. I was just looking at this yesterday. It's interesting. This was a very long, was a request for a long time, sorry, to have PDF on design automation. Now the version 22 of design automation for Revit supports exporting PDF. And the team was really fast to create a sample and document how it works. Here's a sample from John Wu. And it's quite interesting. You just select the files and it goes straight to PDF using the design automation engine. So he created the sample live. The source code is right here. There is a live version. It's a very interesting feature. I think PDFs are very good when you want to quickly see it or plot or print, right? And so it's an interesting feature. Not sure if you've seen this before, but the one that really caught my attention was this one. I remember seeing that Revit now supports, I think it's Revit 21. Someone is typing really strong.
I'm sorry, it's me. It's my mechanical keyboard that sounds quite a lot. I was just letting Tade know that I open a spot for him on the
What do you mean you have a mechanical keyboard? What is that?
It's a mechanical keyboard. Like, did you ever type back in the 1990s that has like this big kind of like chunky. It's just
Oh,
because
okay.
when I code, I kind of wanted to feel like meaningful, that I'm actually coding something that is gonna change something. So it
Let's
needs
see
to
it.
do the.
Yeah,
Let me
show
see
it.
if I can. Yeah, it's called Das keyboard. Actually, it actually fits our team name. So I will send you guys a link.
Let's have a look. No, list it up again.
Das keyboard.
No, show us the keyboard again.
Oh, 1 second. I think it's gonna be. It's just I cannot pull it, so you cannot see it very well. But I will send you guys the link.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Where is it? This is mine. I can send to all of you in case you're interested. I'm not sponsored by this company, by the way, so just
Yeah.
a keyword that I like.
Mechanical keyboards are pretty popular in gameplay, right? You get better response and faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So that's what it is. Like you can change the key, like some of the keys in order for you to like color code them. Let's say there's
I'm
a
not like
certain key.
I have the lightweight
the Mac
Apple thing.
one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like with those things. I feel like my I have big fingers, you know. So it's like hitting that key itself. It's like not gonna be enough for you.
Do you have that big red dial hooked up to an audio system?
Yeah.
I love dials for volume. That's awesome.
Yeah. I see a question from Scott Mose.
Yeah, so I was just talking about this one here. I'm not sure if you've seen this before. This use the camera to walk along a path. I think that's quite interesting if you wanna have training on the building. And I believe there is a Revit API to also get that path, but I don't think Izan is connecting the two. He's just navigating through the model, right? But it's quite interesting as well. I think he has a video at the bottom. That
Yeah, just it's a linear animation too. Yeah, you can make it smoother, but yeah, I won't go into the details of that one. It's cool. It's a cool video.
Yeah, but I believe there is an API in Revit to get that path for you, right? So you just say, Revit, from this door to that door, get me the path. And then you go to the Forge viewer and walk through that path, I believe. Yeah, something to try later.
Yeah, I got the,
Just for fun. Yeah, so Moses was asking about upgrading models. Yes, there is a sample from John Wu as well on how to do it. I think that's the sample, right? Where you select files and it's very simple. Just open in Revit and then save it. It goes to the version that you save it. So it's a very easy to use sample.
Just a question. Do the files have to be cloud models or can they be uploads? We have some older Revit files like from 2015 and we don't have that version of Revit anymore. It's practically impossible to get it. Could I upload that file to my hub without it being a cloud model and then have this work? I tried this demo yesterday and I connected it to my hub, but the upgrades didn't go through.
Okay, so first, the sample is connecting to the hub as a way to grab the files, but you can make the sample point to another storage if you want. Now about the code not running, probably have to look at the output to see what happened. So I'm trying to remember because I don't know if Revit 2022 or 2021 will support opening 2015 models. So that's the part you have to check.
Yeah, it probably needs to be swapped to the 2018 version to run that engine.
Yeah.
Which I believe might be, we support what, 5 versions back of Revit? So 22,
no, yeah,
24?
Yes. So the design automation supports 2018. I would say that if you can try that 2018, that may work because that's very closer, right? Yeah. I don't remember how far Revit will support opening modules. I don't think that's the same as the support policy. I don't know, but
Okay.
2018 may be better than 2022.
Yeah. So
Moses.
it's just a matter of checking the sample to see which version it's using. So maybe you'll probably have to do an upgrade to 2018 and then run again that same file and do upgrade into a different one.
Yeah, so the sample, as I can see on the image here, supports 19 and 18. You probably have
So
to
give 18 a
adjust the
try.
sample. Did you try that?
I tried 2019. I didn't try 2018.
Okay, yeah, I'll say quickly try that, and if still failing, get the work item ID and get the output, so you can see what's going on there.
Okay,
Why it's not
thank you.
exporting. Yeah, but it should work for any model as long as the model is hosted on in this case for this sample, the model needs to be on BIM 360, but it can be anywhere, right?
So it doesn't have to be a cloud model that's been with design collaboration happening in the cloud, like work. It doesn't have to be work shared, because I just uploaded these files to my hub.
Yeah, actually, if the model is a cloud share, it may not work, right?
Okay. Okay, great. Sounds promising. I'll give that a try.
Cool. So any other topics to bring up? Interesting conversation today.
See one more. William song. I want to change the name for an OSS object. I don't find the endpoint to do that. Can you give me some idea?
Yeah, I don't think you can change a
No.
bucket name.
No. Well, it's asking about an OSS object, which also it's the file itself.
Yes,
but yeah, also you cannot do that. I will say what you can do is just re-upload that object with the new name itself, and let's just start targeting to that location.
Yeah.
I think you can also copy from one to the other, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to download it and upload it back again with a different file name. You can just copy from one to the other.
How do you copy? I don't know about that one.
Well, when you say put buckets, bucket, object name, the very first one. I think there is something like a copy from, or isn't there, or is it a different endpoint? I would have to double check.
I don't remember seeing that one, copy from. I think that's for when you create, when you upload to
only in folders. Ah, okay, maybe it's only for folders.
360, yeah.
The
OSS is
object.
Yeah, it's OSS is low level, so there are no additional features there.
Yeah.
Are there any news about support of M1 chips by Revit?
Sorry, say again?
M1 chips for Revit?
Yeah.
No idea.
Oh, for Apple.
Yeah.
Apple support.
Apple M1.
Yeah. So when you look at the Revit system requirement. I think someone asked me that question before, but if you look here, it says that you can run with parallels, but as far as it goes, where is it? Parallels, cloud work sharing, server. Where is it? Parallels, yeah, so it says that all it says. But if you go to parallels, they don't say they support M1 yet, do they?
They support, but they do not support 64-bit Windows 10 system on M1 chip. So they support only Windows 4 ARM.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So no, then yeah. So Revit, it's x86, x64 architecture, not ARM architecture. Makes sense?
Yeah. Are there any news about support in the future?
Yeah, we probably have to wait for Parallels and Microsoft to implement something there first. So Revit and Autodesk, we are not aware of whatever is running below Windows, right? Revit will only see Windows, will not see what is running below that. And the Revit and most of the Autodesk products are designed for the PC, sorry, the x86, x64, what's the name? Compilation, and not for ARM type of processor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just posted the link for copying inside the bucket. So you can.
Oh, there is one.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I haven't used this one at all.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that one. Same bucket.
Yeah.
Nice.
There was
Thanks
a
for
last
finding.
question about blockchain in Forge. I have no idea if we have done
Is
anything.
that command added to OSS Manager?
No. You can edit.
All right, cool. So we are right on time. Any other last minute topics to bring up? So you have a file with Forslash on the name. Yeah, so you cannot upload Forslash. That's a reserved name. There are a few restrictions for file names. Forslash is one of them, William.
Yeah,
Well, you just have to URL encode the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, and they kind of follow also the same AWS S3 naming for the bucket itself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you URL encode the file name before uploading, yes, but yeah. Probably in that case, you may have to base 64 encode to prevent if you don't have control over that. But I believe that Forestlash is even forbidden on local system, right? Like on the computer.
Not sure on Mac.
Yeah. And from Moses, digital twin Tandem.
On the Mac, it's allowed.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a Tandem, Moses, about Project Tandem. This is this is a beta that we are running about digital twin, and it's still in beta. Forge data, it's something else that we are researching and working on. There's some additional information coming around the AU timeframe. No, those are related things. It's how we handle data inside our servers.
I think he meant Forge data visualization API.
Oh, so I don't know what that is then. Forge data visualization API.
Oh, it's the Hyperion thing. If it's related.
No, it's Hyperion.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. Sorry. No. So it's not related, right, Michael? They're not the same thing. They're just using each other.
They are related. They're both in the sort of digital twin realm, but Tandem is more about normalizing the data and data ingestion and coming up with a storage mechanism that's normalized, whereas data visualization extension sits on top, and it's about visualizing that data. So visualizing simulation results, visualizing sensors, charting systems, and reporting systems. And so think of them as think of Tandem as more like storage and cleansing your data, and then the data visualization extensions is really like Forge Viewer, being able to visualize things. That's how I would think of those two things. But yes, they're related.
Yeah, nice way to summarize it. Cool, thank you. All right, so let me switch here. So we're bit over, but yeah, thank you very much for joining today. The next coffee break will be in 2 weeks, same time, June 30th. right. Let's see if I got this right. Yes, June 30th, and hope to see you there. And thank you for joining today. The recording will be available soon on the Twitter handle, just like all the other recordings. Cool. Thank you all for
Have a nice
coming
day.
today. See
You too.
soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.